get into the money. I'm not just discussing you, but I'm just letting you know now. It's the boat. Take it how you want to take it. You just want attention? I got it. However you want, whatever you want, I got it. Rats. Whole family hot.
Rick Ross put $50,000 on the table for Miami rappers, and somehow people ended up arguing instead of celebrating the money. What started as a freestyle challenge for local artists suddenly got personal when longtime Miami executive Lee "Freezy" Prince started taking shots at Ross. And Ross didn't just brush it off. He responded by bringing Brisco into the conversation.
How y'all feeling today? This is what I wanted to do though. I'm out here in Marbella, Spain. It's a beautiful vibe, but what I wanted to do was get some business back in my city in 305. See a little energy going around, and this is what I want to do. I just want to dress.
That's when this stopped looking like a simple rap competition, because Ross, Freezy, and Brisco.
Freezy. Never had an issue with you, homie. Never even spoke to you really about nothing. But you want the bold attention, and now you have it. I'm surprised ain't nobody tell you how this really go, but this is what I'm gonna do. I see you discuss brotherhood a lot on your page, but I ain't see no photos of you and your oldest brother.
Aren't random names who discovered each other through social media. Their connections stretch back years through Miami's music scene.
The 305 15K freestyle challenge just went to 50. It's 50,000 now. The boat said it.
And once old history enters a new argument, things can get messy fast.
You know which one I'm talking about, right? Your oldest brother, the informant, the rat, 30 years, cooperating. Yeah, you don't post him. You may have forgot him, Gus.
The situation originally started with Freezy, the longtime music executive known for managing Florida.
You should know better than that. That's like me speaking on you and your bitch, Tacola Modest. Yeah, I could tell you some shit that may cause your son some trauma about that. Now, I pray you take it personal. Doing podcasts in your Facebook posts. This is what I'm doing. I'm getting to the money. Not just discussing you, but I'm just letting you know now.
He helped push a Miami freestyle movement with a $15,000 cash prize, giving local rappers a reason to step up and show what they could do. Then Rick Ross got involved, and instead of adding a few $1,000s, Ross pushed the prize all the way to $50,000. Now that's serious money. For an upcoming artist, $50,000 isn't just bragging rights. That's the kind of prize that can fund music, videos, studio time, promotion, or simply change somebody's situation. So on paper, this should have been a great Miami hip-hop story. More money, more attention, more opportunity for local talent. Except that isn't where the story went. Instead, subtle shots started flying between Freezy and Ross. And that's when people realized there might be something underneath all of this that had very little to do with finding the best freestyle. Because Freezy and Ross have operated around the same Miami music ecosystem for years. They know the same circles. They've watched the same scene evolve. So when somebody with that kind of history makes a comment, people naturally start wondering whether there's more behind it. And the internet does what the internet always does. It starts digging. Old interviews start resurfacing. Old videos get replayed. People start looking at photographs, affiliations, previous comments, anything that might explain why a $50,000 opportunity suddenly has grown men trading subliminals. Then Ross brought up Brisco.
Okay, so today, the word of the day is accountability. This for you, Brisco. Accountability. Hold yourself accountable because you walked into that courtroom like George Jefferson and gave them 90 years away to them 3 Zoes from North Miami.
And that changed the temperature immediately. Brisco has dealt with a controversial label for years because of something that happened after he was reportedly robbed at a Miami barbershop in 2009.
Before you do another podcast, before you say another word online, reach out to that prosecutor and say, ma'am, when they slapped me with that big pistol and snatched my chains off my neck, I was too inebriated to identify any of the assailants. They done did 20 plus years for a silver chain with fake diamonds. You know, I know. Told you. He got you a fake chain. That's what you do. You reach out to them, freedom boys.
According to reports, several armed men entered the shop, assaulted Brisco, and took his jewelry and Range Rover. 2 years later, Brisco appeared in court as the victim and testified about what happened. During his testimony, he was asked, "Where did he hit you?" Brisco answered, "Like on the side of my head." He also described details surrounding the robbery. Once clips and information about that testimony circulated, some people started calling Brisco a snitch, and that label followed him.
Freedom boys, you got caught slipping, fuck it. Slap with the pistol, chain snatch, boom. Move on, my nigga. Freedom. Don't blame Miami. Don't blame Rose, because you took the stand, homie. You went in there by yourself, my nigga, with the George Jefferson. Big ass cameras looking at you. Do you see the man in here? I see him right there. Come on, homie.
But there's an important detail that sometimes gets lost when people throw that word around online.
When they was calling me a snitch,
Right.
and I was with these Lil Waynes and all that, that's what stagnated it right there.
Brisco was testifying as the victim of the robbery. People can argue about street codes all day, but that's very different from casually reducing the entire situation to one label without context.
Out of these pictures right here, he looks like the guy.
The defense arguing there is no way Brisco can make an identification.
You kept your face right on the ground because you didn't want to take a chance at one of them.
They ordered us to get face down.
Okay.
I was down to the side. I had my head to the side most of the time.
Did the police ask you about whether or not you had a gun?
Yes.
Okay. And did you lie to them or tell them the truth when you answered?
At first I lied.
Now, years later, Ross has dragged that controversy right back into the spotlight while talking about accountability. And that's where this starts feeling a little unnecessary, because what does a robbery from 2009 and Brisco's courtroom testimony have to do with rappers competing for money today? Maybe there's more history behind the scenes that the public doesn't know, but from the outside, an opportunity for Miami artists suddenly became a conversation about old reputations and unresolved issues. And in Miami hip-hop, those connections run deep. Brisco wasn't some outsider watching everything happen from another city. He existed in the same broader music environment as Ross, Freezy, and other familiar names from that era. That's why bringing him up wasn't random to the people who know the history.
We know it's about to get messy, so I wanted to know what you think. Was Freezy wrong for taking shots at Rick Ross, or did Rick Ross have a point bringing Brisco into the conversation? And most importantly, do you think somebody actually gonna win 50K, or Rick Ross gonna renege? Let me know what you think. Drop your comments, because if somebody walks away with 50 racks, I promise you, I'm gonna be the first one to report it. Make sure you subscribe and like this video, and keep it live.
But it did create a new question. Is this still about the freestyle challenge? Or did the challenge simply give old tension somewhere new to surface? Because there's a real opportunity sitting underneath all this noise. Upcoming Miami rappers now have attention on them. There's serious money involved. People who probably wouldn't have watched the original competition are suddenly paying attention. And if somebody comes through with an undeniable freestyle, the artist could end up becoming the biggest winner from all this drama without getting involved in any of it. But that's also where things could go sideways. A competition like this gives rappers a microphone, and once somebody decides to use their verse to reference Ross, Freezy, Brisco, or some old Miami situation, we're no longer just judging bars. Now people are decoding lyrics. They're choosing sides.
I heard Brisco just name dropped you in the song, man. They own you, man. You heard it. Who name dropped me? Brisco, boy, he down there going off on the whole Miami, boy. And they say my baby daddy over there on his IG snapping. Somebody screen recorded and sent it to me. I want to see. Cause you know, listen. Your name first. Watch this. I ain't tricking, you can fuck that nigga too, baby. This is pimpin', got a bitch that work a 9 to 5.
They're looking for subliminals, and somebody who wasn't even part of the original disagreement could suddenly become part of it because of one line. That's the risk here. The controversy can bring more eyes to the competition, but it can also completely overshadow the artists the challenge was supposedly meant to highlight. And that would be the most ridiculous outcome of all. Imagine putting $50,000 behind Miami talent, only for everybody to spend more time discussing old grudges than listening to the rappers actually competing. Still, there's one thing that could flip this entire story. Somebody could drop a freestyle that's simply too good to ignore. No cheap shots, no chasing controversy. Just somebody taking advantage of the moment and making everybody remember why the challenge existed in the first place. Because right now, the biggest mystery isn't which veteran has the better argument. It's who's going to take advantage of all this attention. And then, there's the question everybody will eventually want answered. Does somebody actually walk away with that $50,000? Until that happens, people are going to keep watching both sides of this, the competition happening on the microphone and the tension happening around it. So what do you think? Was Freezy doing too much by taking shots at Rick Ross after Ross increased the prize? Why do you think Ross brought Brisco's old controversy into something that started as a freestyle challenge?
I got 30 grand for 6 albums and half of my publishing. I don't want your publishing. I want you to shine. I want you to do that shit in a way Rose could have only dreamed of. You understand? And you invest in yourself. That's how it is. You be a boss. You understand? Thank every that ever blessed me to get in this position. I'm half a B up. And then we ain't trying to impress no nigga.
And most importantly, who do you think actually walks away with the $50,000? Drop your take in the comments below, because if somebody comes out of nowhere and wins this thing, that's going to be a story of its own. If you enjoyed the breakdown, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with somebody following Miami hip-hop. And keep watching this one, because with money, music, and this much history involved, one freestyle could change the entire conversation.